Nintendo finally gives a time for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that's going to be held on April 2nd. And they let us know why the Nintendo Switch 2 will have exclusive games and how it's vital to its inevitable success. Yes, we finally have a Nintendo Direct Switch 2 time for the date that we received during its reveal. It will be at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Very early Direct. I don't know what this means. I don't know if they're going to get like something later on in the day, because normally when Nintendo does something this early for a Direct, for a showcase, a reveal, anything, they normally have something to show later on in the day. Not necessarily another Direct, but something extra they'll post on Twitter or their social medias. So this is kind of exciting because I don't know what Nintendo's trying to do. I could assume that the Nintendo Direct is going to be around 40 to an hour. That's how they normally have it. They normally have it 45 minutes. But I believe that this Direct is going to be a little bit longer since they are going to go over the hardware for the Nintendo Switch 2 and its games. So yes, we finally have a time for the date that we received during the reveal, and that is 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time. For me, it's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be streaming it. If you guys want to watch, I'll be live on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch it with me, react with me, I'm going to post my reactions as a YouTube video or just a short. So if you want to watch it with me live, I will be live on that day, and I'm excited. I hope all of you are excited. I'm extremely hyped. I really want something from Nintendo. And now that we know that 2 games are confirmed for this year, being Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA, we are in for a lot this year. We know we are going to get Pokemon news this month because it is February, and they did announce that they're going to show something in February. No idea if it's a direct, no idea if it's just a post, something, or even a release date for the game, because the game is coming out this year. Same with Metroid Prime 4. But we're going to talk about why Nintendo Switch 2 has exclusive games from the Nintendo Switch 1 and why it's important and essential for its success. Nintendo president Shintaro Furukawa says that the Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games are important to success. They had previously announced that Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond as titles for the Nintendo Switch in 2025 to be released for the Nintendo Switch before we knew about the Nintendo Switch 2. Since many people play the Nintendo Switch, they would like to release the software for it. So it looks like Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA is not only going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2, but is also going to be on the Nintendo Switch since they announced it before the Nintendo Switch 2's announcement. And on the other hand, dedicated software is very important when launching new hardware. With that in mind, we'd like to consider various ways to enable many customers to play our games throughout the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. So, the way you could put this is that the games that they previously announced are most likely going to be put on the original Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2, but are obviously going to be optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 since it is a better console going into the future. But one thing about the Nintendo Switch 2 games that make it exclusive, it is probably going to be the games that can only run on the Nintendo Switch 2 and not on the Nintendo Switch. For example, it's a game that's already out, but if they were to put Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Nintendo Switch, it would probably not run. On the other hand, Nintendo Switch 2 is a better, bigger console with better hardware, so it would be able to run it. For example, like Elden Ring. Other games like this, where they're just open world, it's high demanding, it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2, but for the original Nintendo Switch, it doesn't look like those games are going to be coming to that console. Very understandable, because this console isn't up to date anymore. They haven't updated it. Now they're going to Nintendo Switch 2, and it is the newest console of the Nintendo Switch era. So, it makes sense that Nintendo is doing this. And the reason why they're making exclusive games for Nintendo Switch 2 is so that they can market the Nintendo Switch 2 and have people buy the console that they have been working on, that they leaked a while ago, and now they officially announced it for the first time, and they're going to want people to buy it. That's why they have an experience. That's why they have a Nintendo Direct. That's why they have all these things, so they can get people to buy their brand new console. So, there is a reason for exclusive games for the Nintendo Switch 2, but the Nintendo Switch 2 games are not just going to be games for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's also going to be on the Nintendo Switch 1, which is good for people that may have just bought a Nintendo Switch, because, of course, there are people that are still buying Nintendo Switches that haven't. They don't know if they should upgrade or if it's worth it. Mario Kart 9 is going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive because that's their system seller. That's why Mario Kart 9 was even shown in the trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. That game will not be coming to the Nintendo Switch. I could guarantee you that is not coming to the first generation of Nintendo Switch. It will never, because that is not that console's game. That is mainly made for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. For example, I could give you other ones. Mario, a new 3D Mario game. That's not going to be on the Nintendo Switch 1. Because if they were to put that on the Nintendo Switch 1, then they would put other games on Nintendo Switch 1 that shouldn't be treated the same for the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch 1. Because those games are bigger games. They're games that people have anticipated. And if you're putting it on an older console, what's the point of buying a new console? So you can expect that they make a new 3D Zelda that's going to be on Nintendo Switch 2 and not the Nintendo Switch 1. A new 3D Mario. From now on, Pokemon and Metroid after these games have released. So expect the Nintendo Switch 1 to get updates. But also, don't expect them to get every single game the Nintendo Switch 2 gets. Because there are bigger games that are high demanding that are going to be on a brand new console that people should be buying since Nintendo tells them to buy it. And the only reason why they're putting exclusive games is so that they can sell more Nintendo Switch 2 consoles in the year 2025 than the original Nintendo Switch. Another thing I want to talk about. Nintendo president, once again, Shuntaro Furukawa, talked to investors about the price of the Nintendo Switch 2. So the regular Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 1, was $299 on its launch. So around $300 was the original Nintendo Switch. Nintendo president stated, not only does Nintendo have to take into account Japan's increased inflation rate, it also has to consider that the exchange rate environment has changed considerably since the Switch launched in 2017. Nintendo also has to consider the affordability that our customers expect from Nintendo products. Nintendo needs to take all these factors into account when considering the price of its products. So, Nintendo cannot possibly make this a $500 console because that would not be fair to the community, to the fans, to the people that buy these consoles. That would be a little too much. It would be way overpriced for this console. Not saying that this console isn't worth a lot of money, but it is not worth $500. If they were to go up in price, the only way I could see them going up is going to $400. $399 is the price for the Nintendo Switch 2, in my opinion. I don't think it's worth any other amount. They wouldn't make it cheaper. They wouldn't make it $350. They would make it $400 on the dot. And if it launches with a brand new Mario Kart, it's not going to take much convincing to take this as a very hot item. Okay, so Nintendo Switch 2, it's going to be $400 most likely. I expect it to be. It's not going to be $300 because the original Nintendo Switch was. So don't expect the Nintendo Switch 2 to be $300 because it is a brand new console, a bigger console with better hardware, more games, exclusive games. So just don't expect this console to be any cheaper or the same price. It's going to be more expensive, especially with inflation nowadays. That is all I have for today. I just wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct time that they announced and that I will be streaming it when it is happening. And I wanted to just to talk about the exclusive games and how much the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be. And it is most likely going to be $400 for you people who are still curious. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, let me know in the comments down below. And, as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.